Welcome to the Midnight Megan Show. We have breaking news for you. Obama's drone policy must include checks and balances. According to U.S. News and World Report Online, Obama has gone too far in exercising war powers because Congress let him. More of that later. But now we have some very special guests for you from all three branches of the government. First, please welcome Sara and Katelyn from the Senate and House of Representatives.
I'm just a bill. Yes, I'm only a bill. And I got
Thanks for having us, Megan.
Thanks. No problem. Now tell us about some of your responsibilities in the legislative branch and what your branches are based on.
Our branch is based on population. One of our responsibilities in the Senate is to share equal lawmaking responsibility with the House of Representatives. When the House of Representatives accuses an official of committing a crime, the Senate gets the final decision if he or she is guilty or not.
Very interesting. How about you, Sara?
So, our branch, on the other hand, is based on population. There are 435 members, abortion to each state based on population. One representative for every 500,000 people. But you have to do many things in the House of Representatives. We can impeach a government official or accuse them of taking too much power. Trial is started here, but is carried out by the Senate.
I'm assuming that you have to check on the other branches to make sure that they are not consuming too much power?
Yeah, well, if Hillary is president, we're going to have to make sure that happens.
So, what are some other requirements to be in the Senate and in the legislative branch?
Each senator must be at least 30 years old and a U.S. citizen for 5 years. There are also 2 senates for each state, so there are 100 state senates in total for the 50 states. Each senator serves a term of 6 years. The senator must also live in the state they represent.
For the House of Representatives, you have to be 25 years old, a citizen of the United States, and you have to live in the state in which you were elected for.
Now, we all know that you are the branch that creates the laws, so is there anything exciting happening right now in the legislative branch?
Well, Congress isn't being too smart now, I can tell you that, Meg. Congress is sending bills that are trying to start improve its budget. And we, the House of Representatives, has already passed its version of the FY 2016 Legislative Branch Appropriations Bill,
which makes about the same funding cuts as the Senate bill. Even though they're all for political points, they are still increasing the fines of Congress. And it makes the federal government inefficient and unresponsible to the people of America.
Oh, geez, that's not good. Well, thank you guys for coming, but we have to get on with the other guests.
Thanks again for having us.
So quick to kick us off, Meg. I see how it is.
Well, that's what happens when you only have a 30-minute time slot. Next up, please welcome Gabby and Joe from the Judicial branch. Thanks for having us, Megan. So, what do you two do on a daily basis in the Supreme Court?
One job we do on a daily basis is interpreting the U.S. Constitution and laws for that.
We also decide the constitutionality of the actions and policies of the executive branch and of the laws passed by the states or Congress.
Very interesting. How did you guys become members of the Supreme Court?
I had to be trained in the law, and after the president appointed me, the Senate had to approve. I'll be Chief Justice for the rest of my life now.
Yeah, Gabby only has 8 associated judges with her.
So what do you guys do to make sure other branches don't consume too much power?
Well, each of the branches has the ability to exercise checks and balances on each of the other branches.
We can also declare that a law passed by Congress and signed by the president is violating the Constitution.
Do you guys mainly work in the Supreme Court then?
Yeah, all of the justices mainly work in the Supreme Court building, and it's the highest court in our country.
So what's been going on recently?
Well, recently, Supreme Court judge, I forgot his name.
Oh, isn't it that Antonin Scalia guy?
Yeah, well, the president appointed a new one called Merrick Garland.
Wow, that must be very important. Well, thank you so much for coming.
Thank you for having us,
Thank you.
Megan.
We are so glad to have these next guests on our show this evening. Madam President and Madam Vice President are here. Thanks for having us. Glad to be here. So I'm starstruck right now. I mean, Wow, here with the Chief Executive Officer.
I'm here too, Megan, the Vice President.
Oh, that's nice. Anyway, Madam President, what is it that you do?
Well, I do a lot. I meet with the other countries' leaders to discuss important issues. I also prepare the national budget, approve acts of Congress, and command the U.S. military.
And how exactly did you become the president?
Well, I must be born in the U.S. and be at least 35 years old.
And if Antoinette ever happens to fall to her death, be impeached, or to resign, I will take over.
Well, let's hope that never happens.
We get voted in by the Electoral College, which are all of the members from the Senate and the House of Representatives. If there is a tie, each state has only one vote in the House of Representatives.
True. I chose Cristina as my vice president, and we were elected together. We will serve out the end of our 4-year term and hopefully be reelected.
And how do you check on the other branches to make sure they don't consume too much power?
That is a very good question. I have the power to refuse to sign a law that Congress and appointed judges to fill the vacancies in the court.
Madam Vice President, what do you do to assist the president?
Well, I help Antoinette make a lot of important decisions, and I also happen to...
Everyone, it's Donald Trump, your favorite Republican. We're gonna make America great again.
Oh, Donald, I didn't know you were going to be here.
Well, I just happened to cruise on my private jet, okay?
Like I was saying, I help Antoinette to,
I just had a great time in Arizona. I had a much bigger win than expected.
I'm trying to talk here.
Well, not now, Sally, okay? Anyways, failed president candidate Mitt Romney, the man who choked and let us all down, is now endorsing Lion Ted Cruz. That's good for me. I'll show you guys. You watch and see.
Well, thank you for coming, Donald, but unfortunately we have to go to commercial break in 10 seconds.
Make America great again. Build a wall. Thank you, everyone. Good night. Good night. Good night.
Trump with your wall again. Vote for Hillary 2K16. Woo!
That's what happened.
This is gonna be on the bloopers.
This is my weekly young orange.
No,
So I used to like swirl it like a croissant.
Oh.
No.
No.
When did Donald Trump ever have a ponytail?
Okay.
I look like a homeless monkey.
Yeah, just like Donald Trump.
Donald Trump. That's me.
So, what is it that you do?
Well, I do a lot. Are you for real? And appoint a judge to fill vacancies in the court. Judges to fill the
Vacancies, yeah.
vacancies in the court.
Hillary happened to...
Hello, everyone. What's going on?
Wait, the thing isn't playing.
Heck is that?
Hi, everyone.
Alright.
Donald, get back.
Do this.
That's a very good question. I have the power to refuse to sign. Oh my god.
I helped the president.
Hey, I lost it. I was looking for the line. I couldn't see it.
No, you're lying on you. Oh my god.
Did I see it again?